I saw the trailers for this movie, and like everyone else, I went in expecting a Black Widow movie. Because let's face it, that's what we were all thinking. What I got was not exactly that. Red Sparrow. So Red Sparrow is another movie based off a book I haven't read. It's directed by Francis Lawrence, who directed the Hunger Games movies except for the first one. And I guess Jennifer Lawrence is his bread and butter because she's also the main character in this movie. She plays Dominika, the prima ballerina for the Moscow Ballet. And if you're like me, you just thought of The Dark Knight. Her life is good, she's a really good dancer, and then one day her life gets turned upside down in the worst way possible. She loses her career and then her uncle comes up and says, hey, I can turn you into a spy. You do this one thing for me, I can make sure that your life gets better. And so she joins the Sparrow program, which is they train deliberately attractive spies to use the art of seduction to get information out of people. Which is why everyone was like, oh, it's Black Widow, because that's pretty much what Black Widow was. They train in Russia to use the art of seduction to be spies to get information out of people. The biggest difference though is that Black Widows also beat the shit out of people. There's no real action in Red Sparrow. There are a few fists thrown here and there, but there are no like big action scenes, no fight scenes or anything like that. Alright, first off, Jennifer Lawrence, when is she ever not great in a movie? I understand there's a little fatigue going on a couple years back because it looked like she was regretting her decision to become an actress. I mean, I don't know why. She's an amazing actress and she has awards to prove it. And she really brings it in this movie. I mean, first of all, her Russian accent is actually surprisingly really good. Secondly, as evidenced in the Hunger Games, she is really good at portraying that stoic, cold face. Sometimes it's to show guys that she's tough and she's not going to reveal any information to them. Other times it's because she's suffering from PTSD and she doesn't want to show that she's scared. The whole stoic, emotionless face to me didn't show boring in this movie. It showed cold with her walls up. And you totally get it because she goes through a lot in this movie. And along her mission, she meets this American spy named Nathan Nash, played by Joel Edgerton, who's also really good. He's really charismatic in this movie. You get the feeling he's always on top of his mission. He never feels like he's in real danger. And like any spy movie, you know where their relationship is gonna go. They're gonna fight, they're gonna have sex, they're gonna have conversations that are gonna go way over my head. You know, typical. There's some brutality in this movie too. This movie is really violent. It made me wince quite a few times. Like right in the beginning, the movie's getting started, you know, it's giving you a couple seats to get settled, you know, eat a couple pieces of popcorn, and then something happens, you're like, oh no, that just happened, ouch. Stuff like that happens a lot in this movie. Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence gets her ass beat. Which leads me to go on to say that I don't think this movie's for women. This is a guy movie. Because I don't think any women are gonna walk out of this movie going, yeah, that movie was awesome. Because women in this movie are not treated with the most respect. It's not fun to watch. I mean, I give props to the movie for going there, but I'm just saying, if you're fine with watching this kind of stuff, then that's on you. I mean, you see Jennifer Lawrence walking out of a room with a black eye, you're like, yeah. She, like I said, she goes through a lot. I mean, she also strips down naked in a couple scenes, which is funny. This movie has scenes that will give guys like a raging boner. And then there are other scenes in this movie that guys will have to think about in order to keep them going during sex. Then again, I guess a lot of rated R hardcore spy movies are like that. So like the first half or first third of the movie is going along and I'm pretty interested. You know, Jennifer Lawrence is learning how to be a sparrow. She's being put through the ringer. But then about halfway through, the movie slowed down to an insane degree and I got bored. I think this movie could have benefited from having an action scene or two. Because it is a spy movie, right? I don't think I've ever heard of a spy movie without action. It's just kind of misleading, that's all. It's just people talking and then more people talking and CIA and the Russian KGB or whatever their Russian intelligence agency is. I don't know. I don't know much about Soviet Russia except that in Soviet Russia, a movie watches you. I mean, the movie does have cool plot twists, you know, at the end, like something big is revealed, you're like, oh my god. That is if you actually care. But again, most good spy movies have cool plot twists. I will say the music was really good though. It's James Newton Howard, which again, he scored the Hunger Games movies. You know, the music in this movie follows that Russian motif. It really fit into the movie. I liked it. In the end, I'll say this movie, the acting was really good, and I liked the score too, but the story just suffered a lot in the middle. It lost me. Like about 2/3 of the way through the movie, I didn't really care who lived or died, except for Jennifer Lawrence. I was like, oh, is that character the bad guy? Okay, well, whatever. Is that character gonna die? Alright, well, whatever. I didn't really care for it, but the movie's not completely terrible. So for Red Sparrow, I will say, wait until you can watch this movie on Netflix. I'm not gonna remember this movie in a few days. So what is your favorite role that Jennifer Lawrence has played? I think that's a fair question. She's been around for a while, so whatever it is, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe.